Good afternoon, everybody. Rose Thorn here. Today I am doing a reaction video to Foodie Beauty's community post that she posted about an hour ago. So, Foodie Beauty's trip to Cuba is pretty much about over. She'll be going home tomorrow. And for those of us that have been keeping an eye on Foodie Beauty in Cuba, there really wasn't a whole lot of anything to cover and to react to. The majority of the Cuba trip was spent either in her room or in the cafeteria. We didn't see a whole lot of Cuba, did we? Very little in the way of variety with that content. It was her doing a lot of the same things in Cuba that she would do if she were back home in Canada. So the trip is pretty much about over. She's got one more day and then she's flying home tomorrow. And as I've said to everybody out there, the true test of whether Foodie has changed or not, it's going to be evident when she gets back home. If she's changed, she won't give us the usual content that she normally gives us, the eating and the beezing and the binging out on food and being completely blasted on edibles and whatnot. Uh, if she gives us something different, that would be a nice surprise, but I'm not really holding my breath. But my prediction is since she will be back at home in the same environment that is toxic to her, and with all those temptations available, she's going to go right back to those temptations because she went to Cuba with all of that stuff still in place. So when she goes back home to Canada, it's going to reactivate. But she did a community post, so let me just go ahead and bring it up on the screen. And there it is. So again, she posted this an hour ago. And the post says, I'm keeping Patreon. I will be creating a tier for followers of my journey. I will have a postcard club tier where members of that tier will get a postcard or souvenir from everywhere I go. This extra support will also be great for funding my beezing escapades. And then she gives a link to her Patreon. So why am I choosing to react to this community post? Well, for several reasons. Foodie Beauty, she's got more than one platform. She's got multiple platforms. She has YouTube, and she's got members only for YouTube. And then she also has OnlyFans, which she's had active for the longest. Right behind that are Patreon and Twitch. She's got 4 different platforms, and she's asking membership on all those platforms. There's not a single platform that she has that it's free. It's free to be part of. It's free to talk to her. Nothing with Foodie is ever for free. You got to pay to talk to her. You got to pay to have interaction with her. So she made this post, and imagine the audacity, saying that she's going to be creating a tier for people that if you sign up for that tier, if she goes somewhere, you're going to get a postcard. Postcards don't cost that much. This woman makes a great deal of money on YouTube every month. That amount of money should cover just about everything she needs and then some. So she's going to make a postcard tier. And if she does go someplace, that means you are essentially paying for the postcard. You're covering the cost of the postcard. And that's a way to give her extra money for her trips, even though she's the only one going on the trips. None of the members are going with her, but she's expecting everybody to pay for the trip. Yeah, Foodie did that. She made this post and she's saying, I'm going to set up another tier on another platform, and I'm expecting you guys to sign up because I want extra money. It's not enough that I have 4 different platforms and I'm getting money from all of them, and I have yet to do decent content for all of them. No, I'm going to create another tier. She just likes to push the limit of how much she can get out of people and what people will put up with. So there's a lot of comments to this post, and a lot of people are not happy. So let me go ahead and read the comments. Hey, it's D says, it's not enough that the trips will be tax deductible, just like everything else you do online, like eating and shopping and makeup. Losing your channel hasn't humbled you, Chantal. You're still greedy. You know what? Losing her channel just made her more greedy. She was extremely greedy and entitled with just her YouTube channel. But after YouTube took her channel, she just decided to spread her greed outward and include as many platforms as possible. She's been promising all kinds of content on OnlyFans, on Twitch. She even went so far as to get a gaming computer so she could do gaming content on Twitch. She promised people gaming content. And there's not been a single stream on Twitch that featured gaming content. All of her platforms, the content was exactly the same. Exactly the same. And she knew that. But she went ahead and made all these different platforms to give people uh, more reason to sign up. And she promised different content for those platforms. And as far as content, nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. So rather than do what she should do, which is make unique content for all these different platforms and fulfill her obligations, rather than do that, and then once she's done that, make another tier for people if they choose to sign up. No, she's trying to milk people further. It's just not right. Rosie 10096 says, so much for feeling for people who have less than you and struggle, Anne. Maybe that compassion should first be extended to those who felt badly you lost your channel and threw their actual hard earned cash at you. But your first thought is always more, more, more. Well, second thought after me, me, me. Yep. It's always about Chantal. Her first thought is give to me, give as much as you can, but don't expect anything back. Don't expect anything back from Chantal because you're probably not going to get it. She's expecting everybody to pay on all these different platforms, but don't expect anything back from her. Don't you dare complain and yell and grumble if you don't get anything back. You know, I am absolutely just shocked that she's got all these different platforms and people still continue their memberships. I mean, what's the point of having a membership to something if you're not getting anything in return for your money? But she keeps people on the string. She keeps making these promises about, oh, I'm going to do content for this platform and that platform. Just wait, 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 wait. You know, like keep waiting, keep people, you know, on the line. And, you know, she's doing that on purpose. She's doing it on purpose. All these empty promises and, oh, I'll do it soon and it's coming. That's just to keep people signed up one more day, one more hour, one more minute so they don't cancel before she gets the money. Uh, let's see. Oh, and also one thing before I forget, on top of the 4 platforms she's got going on, Chantal also has a link where you can send her money on Twitter. And she's also got donation links to Cash App, Venmo, and PayPal as well. So she is just working the system any which way she can put it out there to send her stuff to her home or send her money. Yeah, she's working that system. She's finding ways to get more money out of people. Intuitive Booty says money is getting low and she wants y'all to pay for nothing. Well, even if money weren't getting low, she's greedy. And she expects people to pay for nothing, and people who are stupid are signing up for these platforms and they're actually expecting that one day Chantal will come through with the content. I've been watching Chantal for a long time. I've been reacting to her for a long time. And I've never seen a single instance where this woman makes good on her promises. Not one. Not as far as making content. I've seen her make endless promises about, oh yeah, I'm going to do a video for y'all. Oh yeah, I'm going to do an edited video. She couldn't even manage that. An edited video would take all of 15, 20 minutes. If she's got time to do a 3 or 4 hour live stream or several live streams during the day, she can put together an edited video or snap some pictures for OnlyFans or something. You know, she's full of excuses and problems, but no solutions. So people on that side of the fence, if y'all want to pay Chantal, it's your money. You can do what you want. Spend it how you like it. Just understand going in that you're paying for nothing. She's just trying to find a way to get that money out of you. And she's going to keep you on the hook and keep you waiting for whatever it is she's promising, but she'll never, ever deliver. And she feels safe to act that way because nobody's called her out on it yet, and there's not like mass unsubscribing from any of her platforms. Holly says you should just travel to the mall food court and send postcard people the plastic cutlery you collect since you spend 90% of your Cuba vacation at dining hall. I know this Cuba trip, the one place we saw the most of was the cafeteria. Cuba is a wonderful place. I'm sure there's lots of things to see. But what did we see the most of during this week? The cafeteria or her room. That's it. That's it. Out of 7 days, we saw the most of those two areas. And that's so reminiscent of what she was doing in Ottawa. What did we see the most of when she was in Ottawa, guys? Say it with me. The fast food restaurants and her bedroom. So different place, same concept. Bunny Angel says, Chantal, you earn between 10 to 20 grand a month, yet you expect people to pay for your vacations. Are you serious? Fund your own vacations like everyone else. Yeah, exactly. I mean, she had the money for a vacation. She's got the money. The thing is, she doesn't want to spend her money on vacation. She wants other people to pay for it. She feels just that entitled. She wants the VIPers to pay for everything. She wants to pay for all of her food, all of her drugs. She expects them to give her money so she can give that to Natter and pay his bills. And yes, VIPs, you are paying for Natter. She's not stopped talking to him. That's obvious. You know as well as I do that when she stops talking about him, that usually means she's seeing him, she's talking to him. She turned on his phone. She never turned it off. We know that's happening, and she probably made his thumbnails over there. So Natter's not out of the picture. He's just not on stream with her. But he's still in the background collecting a paycheck. Okay. V says, don't you make enough off YouTube? Or is supporting Koki making your travel plans harder? You know, Chantal is one of those people, she's all about excesses. The more, the better. More food, more drugs, more this, more that, more shopping, more spending money, more. She's never satisfied. It's never enough with Chantal. And Chantal's over there and she's supporting Pete. She's giving money to Natter, probably Dee Dee. I mean, she's got a lot of people on her payroll and she's got to make money for all these people. So it's never enough with her. The more you give her, the more she's going to spend. That's why her having all these multiple platforms and keeping them up is so important because, you know, she's got so much going on in the background and she's expecting everybody to pay her for all this stuff going on. Janice Silfleen says, funding my escapes. No, if you want to go on these ridiculous holidays, get a proper job like everyone else. You haven't worked a day since you were fired from your receptionist job in 2013. Yeah, that happened. She had a job, she got fired, and she hasn't worked a regular job since. So what is it, like 8 years? She hasn't had a real job, a regular job, and she's expecting people to fund everything she wants to do and go on vacation. Chantal, listen, I'm sure there are lots of people giving you money. They actually need the vacation. They work very hard. Their lives are stressful. They got worries. They probably need the vacation more than you do. Your whole life for the last 8 years has been a vacation. You do exactly what you want to do. You're not committed to a work schedule. You can go out and eat when you want. You can sleep however much you want. For the last 8 years you've been on an 8-year vacation, Chantal. 8 years. 8 years. So what do you mean you want to charge people more money just so you can send them a postcard? Essentially, you're expecting other people to give you money so you can send some rinky-dink postcards and that's going to justify having another tier? Okay. Lay Liv says, are you keeping Patreon because you're going to be sending money back to Cuba to support Renee, his wife, and his kids? So nice of you. Yeah, I want to talk about the Renee situation for just a minute. So Chantal brought up this person, Renee, that she was talking to at the resort. and allegedly something was going to happen or something did happen. The whole situation just sounded dicey to me, saying that he was going to get off at 10:30 and come see her. Nothing happened, y'all. I think it's sad. This poor guy, he got doxxed on Kiwi Farms, and he didn't even do anything to Chantal. Nothing. Nothing. And we can't trust Chantal. We can't trust what she tells us. If she just picked some poor guy's name out of a hat and decided to use it, which led to him being doxxed, that's just effed up. That's completely effed up. I mean, Renee did nothing wrong. He was just somebody working at the resort. Uh, Everybody just needs to leave him alone. Uh, you can't trust anything that Chantal says. Uh, she shouldn't have said his name on camera for any reason, whether or not something happened. I seriously doubt that anything did, because he's an employee, and that's a no-no to fool around with guests of the resort. Plus, considering if he got off work at 10:30, he ain't going to be done till 11:30. If you're a wait staff, there's a lot of stuff you got to do after you're done with your shift. So I doubt that this meeting even happened. But regardless, she dropped his name, and now he's been doxxed. Let's see. LJ says your Patreon cost more than the postcard you bought on your trip, right? I haven't even looked at the new tier. I haven't looked at her Patreon. But postcards are not that expensive. Postcards are not that expensive. But she wants everybody to buy into this new tier. So essentially, they're paying for their own postcard. Make it make sense. Biotech says, you can't even stick to an upload schedule. How are you going to pull this off logically? She's not going to pull it off. She's not going to pull it off. This whole extra tier is just another empty promise that she's going to make people. And we don't know when her next trip is going to be. It could be in 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. She's got nothing scheduled yet. So those of you that are going to buy into that Patreon tier, if she's got it set up already, you're going to be paying into a tier that it's going to be active, but it might take a few months for her to go back out and do something. But in the meantime, you're spending your money on this quote unquote postcard souvenirs idea. So let's just say it takes Chantal a couple of months to go back out on vacation. You're going to be giving her 2 months worth of subs. And if she goes out on vacation, you may or may not get a postcard. She might go on vacation and then make up some excuse of like, oh, they didn't have postcards, or I couldn't buy the postcards, blah, blah, blah. So, just think about that for a minute. Just think about that. The fact that she's got a postcard tier, souvenir tier, you're paying for your own souvenirs. That they're not coming out of her pocket, they're going to be coming out of yours. Trisha says, you need people to fund you traveling from cafeteria to cafeteria. She would love that. She would love that. For people to fund her doing vacation mukbangs, oh yeah, she'd love that. Why spend your money when you can spend somebody else's money and keep your money at the same time? She's just out there fishing. She's fishing for suckers. She's gathering them all together. See how many stupid people there are that watch her, how many gullible people. And you know what? Here's the sad thing. There's always some gullible ones out there. There's always some stupid ones. And Chantal always manages to find them. Janice Cicely says, have you put anything on there since you came back? Why are people paying you? All you do is turn on them when they offer fair criticisms. Well, again, people are just that stupid. They're stupid. This woman, Chantal, she doesn't treat her paying members very well on any of her platforms. Not on YouTube, not on Twitch, not on OnlyFans, not on Patreon. She's an equal opportunity offender. She's a jerk to everybody. 1 minute she's nice to you, and then when she starts raging and ranting, she's blocking, she's banning, she's insulting, and yet people continue to give her money. So even as a reactor, after a certain point of watching her do this over and over, you will reach a point where you're like, I can't feel sorry for these people any longer. They pay the money, they know who she is, they know what she does, and they still continue to pay. So if any of them are over there crying and complaining about, oh, I paid my money and I didn't get anything, well, you knew that probably 3 or 4 months ago, and yet here you are still paying. So I have a hard time feeling sorry for y'all. You know, like, you can't complain about something if something has happened and you're aware of it and you don't do anything to change. Saskatchewan girl says, oh boy, she goes on one trip and now she thinks she's a travel vlogger. Gonna send postcards and souvenirs. Yeah, stuff that you guys pay for. Linda says, how about you produce what you already promised for the money people pay on OnlyFans and Patreon? You haven't even delivered on any of those promises. No, she hasn't. Nope. And you know what? I got news for y'all on those other platforms. You're not going to see anything. Chantal's #1 platform is YouTube. That's where she feels the most comfortable. She feels very comfortable making money on all the platforms. But as far as doing anything that resembles content, she's comfortable with YouTube because all she has to do is turn on her camera and do a live stream. There's no work involved. On Patreon, she has to pay a fee to Crowdcast to do live streams, which is money out of pocket. I'm sure she's not too fond of that. Plus, on Patreon, her audience is not that big. So she's not 100% happy with Patreon. And she can't really do live streaming on OnlyFans and get super chats and stuff like that. No big audience on OnlyFans. So, you know, she kind of abandoned that platform. And Twitch is for gamers, and she knows that. And even though she's a Twitch affiliate, I believe, it's still a different platform, different crowd. She's not going to really do much there either. Once she got back on YouTube, those other platforms got shoved in the corner, and she's going to keep them there just in case something happens to her on YouTube. But as far as producing quality, unique content for each one, sorry, folks, it ain't going to happen. I'm telling you, it's not going to happen. I would think the smarter thing to do, if you're someone and you want to support Chantal, the smartest way to go about it is to wait until she does a significant amount of content, new content, fresh, new creative content on each of those platforms, and then pay your sub, because then you will be getting something for your money. But to pay a sub price and there's nothing there and nothing continues to be there, all that means is that you're wasting your money, because she's getting the cash, but she's not providing the merchandise worthy of your coin. Let's see. Cool Hand Mike says, you mean your journey to Natter and Dee Dee's bed and then back to your villa, that journey? And again and again and again. Yeah, you know what? We'll probably never see this, but I got a prediction that as soon as she gets back to Ottawa, she's going to be driving straight over to Natter's. Straight over there. There's going to be a day or two where she disappears. And she's going to make some nonsense excuse, but she's going over to Nad's. And she's going to disappear for quite a while and then act like we're stupid. She's going to go see him. She will. She's probably going to stock up on alcohol and snow and green and go over there and party like it's 1999. Willow Sound says, so the $10 extra for following you over to Patreon wasn't enough, right? Hello. People are paying $10 over at Patreon, and that's her lowest tier. Then, of course, she's got her $50 tier. So people are already paying $10 on Patreon. But here she is wanting to, she wants extra money for a stupid postcard. How much does a postcard cost, really? They're not that expensive. Those can easily come out of pocket. She can buy a whole bunch of them. She doesn't have that many people on Patreon. Maple Moon says 20K isn't enough. It's never enough for Chantal. You can give her 100K and it still wouldn't be enough. Let's see. Okay, looking for a good comment here. Salsa Genius says, you're going to pay for postage to send souvenirs to everyone in the tier? Really? Stop it. Yeah, I can just see Chantal doing that, can't y'all? Buying souvenirs, boxing up all those souvenirs, finding out everybody's addresses, and going to the post office and dropping all that stuff off. That's a lot of work. She can't be bothered to take her cats to the vet. She can't be bothered to do her housework or wash her dishes or wash her clothes. Y'all actually think that she's going to just sit at home, spend a day just mailing out souvenirs to different people? Y'all actually think that's going to happen? No. That's way too much work for Chantal. Self Fawar says, I think you've forgotten how grateful you were to get your channel back. Now there are patron tiers. Girl, stop. Humble yourself and get back to where you were 5 minutes before your birthday ended. Threer says, you won't follow through with this. Stop lying to your viewers for money. You know what, Three? She never stops lying to her viewers for money. She never stops lying. And all this drama, this going back and forth with Natter, I've said it once, I've said it twice, I'm going to say it again for everybody in the front, the back, and the middle. I think that all this drama going on with Natter, all this back and forth, it was planned. It was planned. Think about it, y'all. The moment that Chantal was not able to go over to Natter's house and stream with him or stream at the same time that she was in his company, his views went down. His super chats went down. I'm sure he's noticed ever since her departure how the money has dropped. So I'm sure that conversations were had in private and it was decided that more drama would happen just to generate more interest for his channel again, to get people watching him and Chantal. And that's why all this stuff happened with Dee Dee and Natter and Chantal. Oh, this alleged incident. Because her talking about him again has generated interest on his channel. And there's been at least a few videos where he had a spike in views, even though he did the April Fool's thing and a lot of people are upset and a lot of people left and he gave a faux apology. You know, a little bit of coin was still put in the pocket because of all this drama. So I think this whole thing with her and Natter was just generated purely to help him, to help get some interest back on his channel. And nobody can change my mind about that. Sarah War says, give me more money. I want money. I need to pay men to screw me, but everybody wants me. Girl. Yeah, exactly. This woman that swears that everybody wants her, why is it that she has to pay men to be around her? Why is it so important for her to make more money than the guys that she's around? Why is it so important that she puts them in a position to where they have to depend on her financially? She's so wanted, right? She's so incredibly wanted. Why is she hanging out with all these no money, no job losers? Unless maybe that's the only type of guy that will deal with her, and only because they have to. Let's see. Cuban Breeze says, Chantal, you'll lose so much more than gain. You make 5 times more than most, deciding between filling up your car with gas or splurging on a whole week's worth of groceries is the real world. Yeah, there's a lot of people in the world struggling right now. A lot of people are struggling, real talk. There's a lot of people in the world that they have to make decisions on, you know, should I pay my rent or should I pay my bills that are overdue? You know, what groceries can I buy to stretch for a week until my next paycheck. There's a lot of parents that they go without meals just so their kids could eat. There's a lot of people facing evictions that they wake up every day wondering when they're going to get kicked out. There's a lot of real world problems for a lot of real world people. Pretty much everybody that watches Chantal, none of them are rich. They got stuff to do. They got stuff they need to spend their money on. And yet here she is milking people for money. I think it's shameful and disgusting. Shameful. The vid has hit everybody hard in the world. A lot of people have had their jobs taken away from them or their hours cut down, and they're facing real world stuff that affects them. They're running around scared about how to survive and trying to figure things out. And yet Chantal keeps insisting on squeezing more money out of people. You need to cut it out, Chantal. Seriously. You're making enough. You're doing well enough. You don't have to do that to people. Harry Nui says, scammer, stop scamming. Cook says, ungrateful sloth. Mrs. Girl says, you can't even put up a video of recorded content. I have zero faith that you would go to a place to purchase the necessary items, much less address them and mail them out. Why do you bother with this? Because it's about money. She wants that money. She needs that money so she can live her excessive lifestyle and support Pete's and support Natter and support Dee Dee. She's got a lot of people on her payroll keeping this drama going, and they got to get paid. You got to keep it all going. So rather than put the work in to keep people happy, which would not take very much, she could easily take a day and do content for all the platforms, and everybody would be so incredibly happy over that. No, she's going to make sure to set up all the platforms, make sure that how you can pay is done first, and then keep promising content that never shows up, and then just count on the fact that it might take a while for people to catch on, but in the meantime, the clock is ticking, and maybe she might make some money before the pay period, and maybe when everybody catches on, it's after the pay period is over and she's got the money in hand. Junie Jones says, I had to cancel Patreon because it's a little much. I'll still follow you here, though. I don't know why you don't just stick to YouTube. Well, she could. She could easily cancel all those other platforms, all of them. She should, actually. She should cancel all those other platforms. If you're not doing content for all the platforms, then cancel them. And that way people can put the money back in pocket, and they might spend the money on super chats. That would be the decent thing to do. But Chantal's greedy. She's very, very greedy. She wants all those platforms up and running, subscriptions running, memberships running, hoping that somebody will get suckered in and pay a certain amount, and that's more money in the pocket for her. Let's see. Oh, I think that's it for the comments. So that's it for the community post. I hope you guys have enjoyed this community post roast reaction. If you have, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Tell me what you guys think about this whole thing with her keeping Patreon. I noticed that she said she's keeping Patreon, but she's not saying what she's going to do for OnlyFans or Twitch. So, again, those platforms have been abandoned. Anybody paying those memberships, she's not giving you any promises that nothing's coming. Even though she's got a gaming computer and she could be doing gaming content on Twitch. Anyway, so that's it for this reaction video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Thanks for watching, everybody, and please have a good one. Bye-bye.